Hi there, it's Renee with Abundantly Nutritious. And you've been told your labs are normal, but you're still bloated by 2 p.m. Your energy crashes after lunch. Your joints ache for no reason. And somewhere along the way, someone told you to just eat clean. I'm not going to tell you that today. I am a professional functional nutrition, and I work with women who have done all the things, the probiotics, the gluten swap, and they're still tired. Here's the truth. Your gut is not broken. It's communicating loudly, and the food on your plate is either turning the volume up or turning it down. Today, I'm walking you through the foods that quietly heal the gut and the ones that quietly harm it. No food fear, no diet dogma, just the patterns I see again and again in real labs. Let's get into it. First, a quick napkin sketch. Your gut has 3 jobs that affect every system in your body. It digests food, it hosts about 70% of your immune system, and it builds the chemical messengers that talk to your brain. There's a single layer of cells separating what's in your gut from what's in your bloodstream. 1 cell thick. That's it. When that lining works well, you absorb nutrients and you feel steady. When it gets irritated, food particles slip into places that they shouldn't be. Your immune system reacts. You feel inflamed. You feel tired. You feel foggy. 2 pieces of lab data tell the personal story. A food sensitivity panel shows which foods your immune system's reacting to. A stool analysis shows what's actually living in your gut and how well you're digesting. You don't have to guess, but until you have that data, the general food principles still matter. Let's start with most likely what's working against you. I want to be careful here. No single food is the villain. The pattern matters more than any one ingredient. That said, 4 categories show up in almost every consultation I do. 1. Industrial seed oils. Soybean oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil, vegetable oil. These oils are highly processed and tip your body into an inflammatory state when you eat a lot of them. The problem isn't just dressing your salad once. The problem is that these oils are baked into restaurant food, packaged snacks, salad dressings, sauces, and the chicken tenders your kid eats 3 times a week. Swap towards extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, butter from grass-fed cows, and a small amount of coconut oil. Read the label. If you see vegetable oil first or second on the list, put it back. 2. Added sugars and ultra-refined carbs. Your gut bacteria eats what you eat. When you feed them mostly sugar and refined flour, the species that thrive aren't the ones that you want. They release compounds that irritate the gut lining and drive cravings for more of the same. This food, it's not about banning birthday cake. It's about looking at your everyday baseline. Granola bars, flavored yogurts, coffee creamers, bread that's softer than a marshmallow. Those are the daily drips. 3. Industrial additives. Polysorbate 80, certain emulsifiers and gums. Research suggests that they can thin the protective mucus layer in your gut and shift the bacterial balance. You don't need to memorize the list. You just need to recognize that food made by a chemist tastes like food made by a chemist. The closer your meal looks to its ingredients, the less of this you'll get. 4. Alcohol in excess. 1 glass of wine on a Friday is not an issue. A nightly glass to take the edge off is a different story. Alcohol irritates the gut lining and feeds the wrong bacteria. If you suspect it's playing a role, try 2 weeks without it and watch your sleep and bloating change. Now, here's the part most lists won't tell you. Some of the foods harming your specific guts are foods on every healthy list. Eggs, almonds, dairy, gluten, cashews, blueberries. I've seen all those flagged on a on a panel for someone eating them daily. That doesn't make those foods bad. It means that your immune system has decided that that food is currently a problem for your body. Generic advice can't tell you which one is yours. Lab data can. Now the better half of the conversation. These are the categories that show up over and over in clients who get their energy and digestion back. 1. A wide variety of colorful plants. This is the single most important shift you can make. Not more vegetables, more variety. Research from the American Gut Project found that people eating 30 or more different plant foods per week had measurably more diverse gut bacteria than people eating 10 or fewer. More diversity equals a more resilient gut. That counts vegetables, fruits, herbs, spices, nuts, seeds, and legumes. Cinnamon counts, parsley counts, a handful of pumpkin seeds count. Pick one new food per grocery trip. Just one. Over a year, you've added 50 new species. 2. Fermented foods, use carefully. Sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, plain Greek yogurt, miso. These foods contain live bacteria that nudge your gut ecosystem in a friendlier direction. A small caveat. If you have histamine issues, fermented foods can make you feel worse before they make you feel better. Start with 1 tablespoon, not 1 cup. If you feel itchy, flush, or headachy, back off, and we look at histamine on the labs. 3. Polyphenol-rich foods. Polyphenols are plant compounds that feed your beneficial gut bacteria. Think of them as fertilizer for the good guys. Berries, pomegranate, dark chocolate, the kind that's 70% or higher, extra virgin olive oil, green tea, herbs like rosemary, oregano, thyme, red onions, apples with the skin on. You don't need a supplement necessarily. You need a colorful plate. 4. Omega-3 rich fats. Wild salmon, sardines, anchovies, mackerel, walnuts, and flax for the plant version. These fats calm the inflammatory tone of the entire body, including the gut lining. 2 servings of fatty fish a week is the floor, not the ceiling. If fish isn't happening, talk to a practitioner about whether a clean omega-3 supplement makes sense for you. 5. Gentle proteins that support repair. Your gut lining replaces itself every 3 to 5 days. That construction project needs raw materials. Bone broth, slow-cooked meat, eggs if you tolerate them, wild fish, legumes if they sit well with you. The amino acid glycine, abundant in connective tissue, cuts, and broth, is especially supportive of the lining. A practical move, simmer a chicken carcass on the stove or in a slow cooker for 8 hours. Salt it, sip it in a mug in the afternoon instead of your second coffee. 6. Resistant starches and fiber from real food. Cooked and cooled potatoes. Green tip bananas. Cooked and cooled rice. Oats, lentils, beans. These feed your beneficial bacteria, which then produce short-chain fatty acids that nourish your gut lining. If beans and oats wreck you, that's information, not a personal failure. It often points to bacterial overgrowth, which is something that we can see clearly on a stool test. 7. Bitter foods to wake up digestion. Arugula, dandelion greens, lemon water before meals. Bitter flavors stimulate your stomach acid and bile flow, which helps you actually break down the food that you eat. Most of us have eaten the bitter out of our diet, and adding it back is a small act with a big return. Now here is what this looks like on a real plate. I'll draw out the way I do for clients. Half of your plate should be a mix of cooked and raw vegetables, ideally 3 different colors. A quarter of your plate should be a protein that you tolerate. Wild fish a few times a week, pasture-raised eggs if they suit you, slow-cooked meals, meats, a well-prepared bean or lentil dish. The last quarter, a starchy plant. Roasted sweet potato, a scoop of rice, a piece of fruit. Real food carbs, not packaged ones. Add a generous drizzle of olive oil, a fermented topping like sauerkraut, and a fresh herb. That plate does more for your gut than any pill on a shelf. You don't need to do this perfectly, you need to do it often. I want to close with a piece of honesty. A general list of healing and harming foods is a starting line. It's not a finish line. The reason two women can eat the same anti-inflammatory plate and one feels great while the other one wakes up swollen is simple. They have different gut ecosystems. They have different immune reactions. They have different digestive capacity. That's why the work I do leans on labs. A sensitivity panel shows the actual foods your immune system is currently reacting to. A stool panel shows whether you have the bacteria, the digestive enzymes, and the gut lining integrity to handle what you're eating. If you've been doing all the right things and still feel off, this is where I'd start. Not with another supplement, with data that's yours. Quick note. I am a professional in functional nutrition, not a medical doctor. Nothing in this video is medical advice, a diagnosis, or a treatment plan. Talk to your own provider about your specific health situation. This is education, not a prescription. If this helped you think about food a little differently, do me a favor and subscribe so that the next video lands in your feed. I want to hear from you in the comments. Tell me about one food on the healing list that you're going to add this week. Or tell me one food you suspect is on your personal harming list. I read these comments and I'll be answering questions in the next video. Thanks for spending time with me. Take care of your gut. It's taking care of everything else.